everybody, it's Kelly and I'm back with another layout, and I'm going to scrapbook this photo of my granddaughter, but I'm going to use that paper, or I use that paper of all those small squares and I cut them up. So I just showed you that squares paper is Paige Evans, Pink Paisley Paige Evans Horizon, and it's the number 14 paper. I spared you having to look at that. So now I'm just kind of playing with squares and diamonds actually here, or triangles, not diamonds, triangles here, to kind of figure out how to arrange these. That is going on that navy polka dot background paper, and that paper is paper number 16, just so that you know what that is. So I'm going to just work with color here and you know, trying to make sure that the same color squares aren't there. So, I'm just cutting a piece because the sizing didn't feel right, and what happened is the diamonds or the triangles on one side are actually bigger than on the other, so they don't quite work the same if you try to match them up. You have to be a little careful about that. So if you're doing this, it might be easier just to cut a triangle or a square into triangles to make sure they're even. Anyway, so the other thing I want to tell you about this is a layout for a very cool group that I'm involved in. It's on Facebook and it's called Scraptastic Inspiration. So just search that group name, Scraptastic Inspiration. It's run by Julie Wickens. I believe that's how you pronounce her last name. I believe she's from somewhere in the UK. I've run across her in a few other boards. We were on a design team together for a little bit. And she has this really cool board, and there's challenges that go on to inspire you to scrapbook, but they go on for like weeks. So in this particular case, this one is called Chinese Whispers, and it's a 6-week challenge. There's 6 women in my group, and there's many groups going on now. There's like 5 or 6 groups, and each week you get a layout from the person ahead of you in the order, because we're put in order, and then you have to interpret that as close to that layout as you possibly can. So in other words, you don't want to be making a lot of changes, because the whole idea is to see how close we can get to that original layout, which that's pretty awesome and cool. So I just thought this was it's a fun group. There's lots of different kinds of challenges they do. The one before this had something to do with choosing, I think, a word or something like that, and then you had to everybody got to pick a letter from that word, and then you had to use a supply. Like if your if your word was rose, the first person had R, they could pick red. The second person had O, they could pick October afternoon. The third person had S, they could pick stickers. So that they've done any number of these. So again, it's called Scraptastic Inspiration. All right, so while I was putting all those pieces together, you know, that kind of helped you wait, whatever. I wasted some time there, right? I put the photo on that pink paper, and that is paper number 2 from Horizon. And by the way, this design is not mine. The first week you do your own layout, and she had us do a sketch from her Pinterest board, and then we did a layout based on a sketch, and then we handed it off to the person behind us. So it's really cool. In the end, right now we're not seeing each other's layouts, but in the end we will, and we'll see how close we got. So it'll be kind of cool to see all that transition. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm adding some foam tape behind this photo because I really want it to pop off the background a little bit. There's so much paper going on here that lifting the photo is a great way to help make it stand out a little bit. That, and it's square, but the squares are not set on point like they are in the background here. And I did, by the way, this layout took me 91 minutes, which is a lot longer than a layout normally takes me, but I did cut out a lot of the painful stuff, like cutting out the triangles and gluing everything down and all of that, but that was a process. So now on the inspiration layout that I was given, there are some flowers, so I definitely want to use some flowers, and they're kind of scattered around the photograph. So I'm kind of playing with that. And I believe on the inspiration they were Prima flowers, but I just didn't, I don't know. I have a few, but they just don't look good anymore, and they're not kind of like the same sizes and that kind of stuff. So I had to interpret this a little bit. And I want something on each corner so that it's going diagonally across the layout. There also were, in these squares on the side, there were flowers in those as well. So I'm just trying to find pieces from this. You know, part of it is depending what you pick for supplies, you might not be able to find exactly what you want, or collection you pick. So I'm playing with those a little bit. I have a lot of pink going on here, but that's okay. She's my granddaughter. I scrap a lot of boys between my grandsons and my great-nephew. And I did like the idea of adding in some of these leaves here. And then I realized there wasn't any blue in any of the flowers, so I decided to pull some blue in by using that blue flower there. And again, I'm going back and I'm looking for flowers, and I'm just not liking the single flowers that I have. And I thought about cutting up some flowers, but I didn't see anything I love there. So I'm going to make a little compromise. I mean, this definitely is mine. I think I added a few more squares on the right side than the original. Rachel Reynolds did a layout not that long ago that I am pretty sure she used the same sketch that I was given to use as well. Alright, so my compromise here is I wasn't loving the flowers. What I'm going to do is grab a couple of stickers here, and the first one says New Roads, and then the second one says So Happy. And the reason that's important is it's basically she's taking her first step. She's taken steps already, but they took a photo of her and she's actually standing up and taking her first, you know, after she's taken a couple of steps, she's taking some more. But the fact that she's standing on her own is a big deal as well. So that's a new road for her. And she thinks it's pretty cool that she can stand on her own now. Pretty soon she's going to be chasing those big brothers of hers. She's not quite, as I'm recording this, she's not quite there. She's definitely walking, but she walks, you know, 5 or 6 steps and then sits down because she isn't quite sure of herself yet. But by the time you see this video, I'm pretty sure that she will be running after those boys. All right, guys. So I've got that. I've got kind of how I really want that to go. I do want to put a title on here, but I want it to be kind of small. There was no title on the original, but I really want one on this. And I also have the dilemma of how I'm going to journal, because I don't want to take away, there was no journaling on the original that I got anyway. So I will kind of throw a little compromise out there. Okay, so I'm liking how that looks. I'm thinking about adding another leaf in there, and I wasn't sure which one and how to go. I mean, something so simple, but sometimes those simple things get you, don't they? And I like how that looks. So now I'm going to turn this and just put the glued down the edges. It would be really cool, by the way, if you stitched each of these boxes. They weren't on the original layout, and I wasn't going to take the time to do that. There is a deadline, and we only have to do one layout a week, which is really nice, so it's very manageable. Thought about putting some flowers around or something, or color around those stickers, but I just, again, I couldn't find anything that I really liked within the die cuts that I had available. And then, so what I'm doing is I'm actually popping up those 2 phrase stickers there onto some foam tape to help set them off. And I had popped up the flowers, so it made sense that I was going to do that as well. Plus, that bottom one is very patterned. That background's very patterned. All right, so now I grabbed these mini alpha stickers from L Studio. Those are the mini alpha stickers. And then I forgot to tell you, the die cut flowers and leaves and the word stickers are both from the Horizon collection. The die cut flowers are from the embellishment pack, and the word stickers I'm using are from the sticker pack, just so you know that. So just, this is basically all Horizon except for the alphabet stickers there. So I'm just titling this Big Girl because she's such a big girl here. I'll look back in 10 years and think not, but she is definitely, and she looks so pleased with herself. I love this photograph, and I'm so excited to be using some pink. Anyway, guys, that's where I'm journaling. Just one line of journaling to let remind us all why this photo is important. There's the still shot, and followed by a couple of detail shots. Hope you guys are well, and I'll be back with another layout again soon. Bye.